First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, rawchaa, qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to the Akim pushing his truth and sincerity. And what you see here on your screen is the elder brother Yahawah and his page Remnant Save 144. Okay, and basically this video is of the Apostle rawchaa and some words that he imparted while he was out there with the elder in his camp in Dallas, Texas. And they're pretty much heavy words. A lot of the brothers have, reposted this video. And I just wanted to speak on it, if I may, if possible, because, these men, they pretty much paved the way through the Spirit for other brothers to learn how to serve, great men with ease. They pretty much showed us how to be men, and men of the Lord at that. They pretty much are our spiritual fathers. They've taught us a lot of things, according to the Spirit and power of Yahawashi and His will. Okay, and His will is that, that you teach faithful men that will teach others. So they have not shunned to declare the whole gospel unto us. The apostle, he had some heavy words, So I would like to bring out a couple scriptures, Lord willing. This will be edifying. But this start here. This is the book of Sirach 11. And 20. It says, "Be steadfast in thy covenant." Okay, and what is a covenant? A covenant is an agreement between the Most High and men. And when you come into the truth, okay, you make a vow. You make a vow to Yahawashi to basically Slakia. That's my dog. But yeah, when you come into this truth, you basically make a vow, to come and serve Yahawashi, okay, and to endure, to the end, okay. So you have to be steadfast in that covenant, in that agreement, It says, "And be conversant therein, and wax old in thy work." And that's what you want to do. You want to be conversant therein. You want to be, you know what? Let's get that word conversant real quick. I want to know what it means. Simple definition will suffice. Familiar with or knowledgeable with something, right? You want to be familiar, okay, with what you've been involved in. The apostles have always said a lot of you guys don't know what you're involved in, And as you get older in the faith, you start to realize more and more, okay, what this truth is really about. What the ministry, that word minister means to serve, what a servant is really all about, And you never reach, infinite knowledge, at least not yet, right? But be steadfast in thy covenant and be conversant therein, right? Be knowledgeable and familiar, okay, in the agreement that you made with Yahawashi. It says, "And wax old in thy work," and that's what you want to do. You want to grow old in this truth, man. Like the apostles, they've grown old. I find myself praying, to Yahawashi and asking him, let me serve just one more day, one more weekend. And you pray that every day, every weekend, right? 21 verses says, "Marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in Yahawashi and abide in thy labor." right? So don't marvel at the works of sinners, man. Don't glory. Don't envy the glory of a sinner. Just because people are so called living their best life and doing this, that, and the other. Hey, you know what? This is what you want to grow old in. This is what you want to be laboring in this truth. Okay, learning more and more about Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, learning about yourself, learning how to be, a better servant. Okay, marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, and abide in thy labor. For it is the easy thing in the sight of the Lord on the sudden to make a poor man rich. You see? So you want to abide in your labor, okay? Be steadfast in thy agreement, that vow that you made. Because it's nothing for Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, to make a poor man rich, you know? And we know the true riches are what? This knowledge, so the more you labor, the more you increase in riches and knowledge and in wisdom, So, it's beautiful that we've been called into, such a brotherhood like this, to be able to hear wise words from older men that are basically, were at one point where you were at in the ministry, that have been woken up and have walked where you walked, Let's get 2 Corinthians 12. And let's just get to the point 12 and 12. Truly the signs of an apostle were wrought among you in all patience, in signs and wonders and mighty deeds. And the apostles, they've pretty much shown by signs, okay, and wonders, mighty deeds, and in patience, right, that they were apostles. They showed us, how to serve, the Lord. It being instant in season and out of season, okay, reproving, rebuking, and long suffering with all, with all long suffering, I should say. They showed us how to rightly divide the word. We've seen with our eyes, our teachers. Okay, it says, for what is it wherein ye were inferior to other churches, except it be that I myself was not burdensome to you? Forgive me this wrong. So this is the Apostle Paul basically speaking about, one thing about the Corinthians, okay, because this letter is addressed to the Corinthians, that, that the other churches didn't go through, was that, he was actually a burden to them. It says, forgive me this wrong, It says, behold, the third time I am ready to come to you, and I will not be burdensome to you, for I seek not yours, but you. Okay, so he was like, this next third time that I come to see you, I'm ready, and I'm not going to be, a burden to you. Okay, because what did the apostles say? That that if any man don't work, he don't eat. Apostles have always taught us to work, with our hands, being quiet, humble. But some people call us the bum camp, and that's far from the truth, man. Brothers work hard. Okay. It says, for I seek not yours, but you. For the children ought not to lay up for the parents, but the parents for the children. And it's a righteous thing, for the apostles to reap our carnal things. But, the Apostle Paul was basically saying, he's like, the children ought not to lay up for the parents, but the parents for the children. He's like, the children ought not to, give anything up to the parents, but the parents should, bestow all goods and all services to the children, because there's nothing like being taught of this truth. Let's look at this word, lay up.
Strong's G 2343. Thesarizo.
It says to gather and lay up, to heap up, store up. You see, to accumulate riches, to keep in store up, reserve. Metaphorically, so to live from day to day as to increase either the bitterness or the happiness of one's consequent lot. Okay. So, yeah, he wasn't not burdensome to them. He wasn't trying to make them accumulate, okay, in debt or any of that, sort of thing. He was trying to lay up, okay, for the children, not the children for the parents, because like I said before, it's a righteous thing for you to bestow goods to your spiritual parents, man. It says here, 2 Corinthians 12:15, and I will very gladly spend and be spent for you, though the more abundantly I love you, the less I be loved. Okay? Now, it says, and I will very gladly spend and be spent for you. Because when you are taught, it's righteous to recompense, your teachers with material things. Now, let's look up this word spent.
Strong's G 1550. Ekdapanao. Ekdapanao.
It says to exhaust by expending, to spend wholly, use up, to spend oneself wholly. You see? Figuratively, exhaust, spend. Okay, so basically, the apostle Paul was basically saying, he was going to spend himself. Okay, he was going to use up, exhaust himself by what? By teaching. You see, our spiritual parents, they don't want to be a burden to us when they come down and visit, elders, apostles, but they take care of their own, but he said that the third time that he would come to see the Corinthians, man, he was ready to exhaust himself by what? By teaching, by doing the best that he can, by being a servant, being a good brother, you see? And that's what they've taught us, man, that, charity covered the multitude of sins, man. Charity is great. Charity is one of the, the key elements in this truth, to be charitable, man, to have that brotherly love, man, It says, running it back, 2 Corinthians 12:15, I will very gladly spend and be spent for you, though the more abundantly I love you, the less I be loved. And that's one of the things the Apostle rawchaa was, basically pouring out his heart, if you will, and being saying, man, everything we do it for you guys. We've been through a lot of things, fighting and on behalf of defending the gospel and themselves, being arrested, going through everything the scriptures said that the men of the Lord would go through. You see, those were heavy words. He says, the more abundantly I love you, the less I be loved. That's what he was saying. Like, man, everything that we do it for you, and I'm pretty sure the apostles sometimes feel like, they love more than what they're really loved. Okay. Being the gazing stock of Israel. Everyone looks at them. Everyone's, saying things bad about them, but yet they're trying to reprove and rebuke with all long suffering, teaching the doctrine, exhausting themselves wholly, to lead the sheep of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. You see? Apostle rawchaa was saying, man, everything that I've learned, I give it to you guys. Same thing with, with the apostle to on down. He said, the apostles, they think the same way. Okay. So there's some heavy words, man. And through the Spirit, you could really learn from these men, man. Through the Spirit, you can really tell that the apostles have been through things, man. A lot of things. And one of the things that is most admiring is that they've been able, okay, to wax old in the work. They've grown old in this truth, man. They got gray hairs. There's pictures of them when they didn't have no gray hairs. And that's what we need to aspire, to be like. Men that grow old in the truth. Grow old in this ministry, into this servitude, until Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi takes us out of here. All right. So Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to say shalom.